Welcome, dear listener. Tonight, you are invited on a gentle journey, a journey made of stories, dreams, and wonder. This collection of bedtime tales has been carefully woven together to calm your thoughts, soothe your heart, and ease your body into deep rest. For the next several hours, you will hear one story after another. Each tale flows gently into the next, like waves upon a quiet shore. There will be no interruptions, no distractions, only soft narration and the steady comfort of imagination. These stories are not meant to excite your mind, but to help it drift. They are told slowly, softly, as if they are lanterns lighting your path towards sleep. All you need to do is listen, breathe deeply, allow yourself to let go of the day. And now, let us begin. The Midnight Garden. Beyond the edge of dreams, there exists a garden that awakens only when the moon is high. It is a place that few have seen, for the gate to this garden appears only to those in need of rest, peace, or quiet wonder. Tonight, you find yourself walking along a cobblestone path. The air is cool and crisp, touched with the faint fragrance of jasmine and lavender. A silvery mist drifts low across the ground, swirling around your ankles as you walk. Ahead, you see an archway made of ancient wood, covered in vines that glimmer with dew. As you approach, the gate slowly creaks open. A soft golden glow spills out from within, welcoming you. You step inside, and at once, the outside world fades away. The midnight garden stretches wide before you, bathed in moonlight. The grass glows faintly blue, shimmering as though tiny stars were woven into every blade. Trees with silver leaves sway gently in a breeze you cannot feel, their branches singing faintly, as though whispering lullabies. Lanterns hang from invisible strings, glowing softly like fireflies that never burn out. They float above a winding path, guiding your steps deeper into the garden. As you walk, you hear the sound of water. A fountain rests in the center of the garden. Instead of water, it flows with liquid light, streams of glowing silver that cascade down into a crystal pool. The ripples shimmer, and when you lean closer, you see that the pool does not reflect your face, but instead shows your most peaceful memories. Perhaps a quiet morning, a gentle laugh, or the embrace of someone you love. The sight warms your heart, reminding you that even in restless times, peace lives within you. A soft sound draws your attention. A small creature, glowing like moonlight, emerges from behind the fountain. It resembles a fox, yet its fur sparkles like diamonds. Its eyes are kind, curious, and welcoming. Without fear, it steps closer, brushing gently against your leg before trotting down the path, as if inviting you to follow. You walk together, past hedges that bloom with flowers unseen in the waking world. Petals of pale blue and violet open as you pass, releasing soothing fragrances that calm your mind. Some flowers hum faint notes, as though they carry music in their hearts. Deeper still, you reach a clearing where the grass feels softer than any bed. Above you, the stars shine brighter than you've ever seen. They stretch endlessly, scattered like jewels across the velvet sky. As you lie back upon the grass, the glowing fox curls beside you. The world becomes still. Only the steady rhythm of your breath remains. Slowly, the stars begin to move. They swirl gently into patterns, painting stories across the heavens. You watch as constellations form, figures of ancient guardians, peaceful rivers, and bridges made of light. Their movement is slow, hypnotic, lulling your eyes heavier with every passing moment. The garden hums with quiet magic, wrapping you in warmth, as if the very air is a blanket woven from calm. You feel your thoughts grow lighter, your body more at ease, your spirit more at rest. As your eyes grow heavier, you know that this garden is eternal. Whenever you need peace, it will wait for you here under the moon, beyond the gate, glowing softly in the quiet hours of the night. And so, with a gentle sigh, you let go. The stars blur into a dream. The fountain whispers softly, and the midnight garden carries you into deep, peaceful sleep.
Story 2. The Library of Forgotten Whispers. In a quiet corner of the universe, where time moves slowly and the stars glow a little softer, there rests a library unlike any other. Its doors are invisible to most, yet tonight, as you walk through the stillness of your dream, they appear before you. The doors are tall, carved from dark oak, and they seem older than mountains. Across their surface are etched symbols that shift like smoke, changing each time you blink. When you reach out to touch them, the wood feels warm beneath your fingers, and with the gentlest push, the doors swing silently open. You step inside. At once, the world grows hushed, as if even sound itself has curled into sleep. The library stretches endlessly in every direction, its shelves reaching higher than the tallest trees. Each shelf is filled with books, some bound in leather, some in silk, some glowing faintly as though alive, and yet it does not feel overwhelming. Instead, the space feels welcoming, as though it has been waiting for you. The air is cool and scented faintly with parchment and lavender. Somewhere in the distance, a candle flickers. Its flame dances lazily, casting pools of golden light across the endless aisles. You walk forward, your footsteps softened by the thick carpet beneath your feet. Every step seems to echo gently, like a whisper fading into the quiet. As you wander, you notice the books are not ordinary. Some hum faintly, others breathe softly, their covers rising and falling like they are asleep. You pause before one glowing volume and run your fingers along its spine. When you open it, the air fills with the sound of laughter, soft, joyful laughter from a memory you had forgotten long ago. A smile touches your lips, and warmth fills your chest. You close the book gently, feeling as though you've reclaimed a small piece of yourself. From the shadows, a figure emerges. It is the librarian. They wear a robe of twilight colors, shifting between silver and indigo, like the night sky itself. Their face is kind, ageless, their eyes filled with quiet wisdom. When they speak, their voice is no louder than a breath, Welcome. Here, every book is a whisper, a forgotten moment, a memory left behind. This library is not about knowledge, but about remembrance. The librarian leads you deeper into the halls. You pass books that glow with golden light, others that shimmer with starlight, and some that are so faint they seem to vanish if you look away. They explain that each volume contains a memory, some from your life, some from lives long past, some from dreams that never reached the waking world. You come upon a wide circular chamber where a great table rests in the center. Upon it lies an open book, larger than any you've seen before. The pages turn by themselves, revealing scenes of kindness, comfort, and peace. A child offering a flower to a stranger, a traveler resting by a fire, a lonely heart finding a friend. Each image drifts into the air like smoke, surrounding you in warmth and calm. The librarian smiles softly. This is the Book of Gentle Whispers, they say. It holds only what soothes the soul. Tonight, it belongs to you. As you watch the pages turn, your eyelids grow heavier. The words blur, melting into the air like lullabies. You feel yourself sinking into the chair beside the table, your body weightless, your breathing steady. The librarian places a hand on your shoulder, and their touch is grounding, steady, and filled with peace. Rest, they whisper. The library will keep your worries safe. You need carry nothing with you tonight. Slowly, the chamber dims. The shelves fade into mist. The candlelight softens, and the book closes gently with a sigh. You lean back, drifting deeper, as though you too are becoming part of the library's quiet eternity. And as you surrender to sleep, you know that the Library of Forgotten Whispers will always be here timeless, waiting, keeping safe all the softest parts of you until you return. Story 3. The floating city in the clouds. Somewhere beyond the highest peaks, where the sky grows thin and the air turns to mist, there drifts a city made not of stone, nor wood, nor steel, but of light and cloud. Few have ever seen it, for it wanders across the heavens, carried gently by the winds. Tonight, however, the city reveals itself to you. You find yourself standing at the edge of a mountain, the air cool and tinged with the scent of pine. Before you stretches an endless sea of clouds glowing faintly beneath the moon. As you watch, the mist stirs and swirls, and from it rises a bridge of light, soft, shimmering, delicate as spun glass. Without hesitation, you step onto it. The bridge holds you, and you feel lighter, as though gravity has loosened its grip. With each step, the ground falls farther away, until you are walking above the clouds. The silence is vast, broken only by the faint music carried on the wind. It is not a song made by instruments, but by the air itself, a gentle hum, like the world breathing in harmony. At last, the city comes into view. Towers of crystal rise from the clouds, their spires catching the starlight and scattering it in 1,000 directions. Walkways of silver mist connect the buildings, drifting slightly with the breeze. Lanterns float untethered, glowing softly, their light warm against the cool night air. You step into the city, and the ground beneath you feels as soft as air and yet steady as stone. The people here are unlike any you've known. They move gracefully, their robes flowing like liquid moonlight, their eyes bright with kindness. Some glide as though weightless, others sit quietly upon balconies made of cloud, gazing at the stars as if they are old friends. One of them approaches you. Their smile is calm, reassuring, as though they've been expecting you. With a simple gesture, they invite you to follow. They lead you through streets lined with glowing gardens. Flowers made of mist bloom in every shade of blue and silver. Their petals release a soothing glow, and their fragrance is unlike anything earthly, a scent that quiets every restless thought in your mind. Ahead, you reach a great plaza. In its center floats a fountain of pure starlight, its streams cascading in slow motion, glowing as they fall. Instead of splashing, the droplets hover in the air, drifting like tiny orbs before dissolving into mist. You stand in awe, feeling the beauty sink deep into your spirit. The guide turns to you and speaks not with words, but with a voice that seems to bloom directly inside your heart. This city exists to remind weary souls that the world is larger, softer, and more wondrous than they imagine. Rest here and let go of the weight you carry. They lead you to a balcony overlooking the endless sea of clouds. You sit upon a cushioned seat woven from wind itself. The view stretches farther than the eye can see, rolling waves of mist, glowing faintly under the silver light of the moon. The stars above glimmer as if they are close enough to touch. As you rest, the gentle hum of the city surrounds you. The air feels cool and clean, and every breath you take fills you with peace. You close your eyes for a moment, and when you open them again, the sky has shifted. Now the clouds glow with hues of dawn, soft gold, rose, and violet blending into one another. It is as though the city has carried you into tomorrow while you rested. You feel your body grow heavier, though not with burden, only with comfort, like settling deeper beneath warm blankets. Your thoughts drift, slower and slower, like the floating lanterns above the plaza. The guide smiles once more, their form glowing brighter, until they fade into the mist. You realize you are alone, but not lonely. The city itself cradles you. Its hum is a lullaby, its light a shelter, its clouds a bed softer than any you've ever known. As your eyes grow heavy, you lean back and allow the floating city to carry you. You drift in its embrace, weightless and calm, until the clouds blur into dreams and the stars fold gently around you. Story 4. The Lighthouse Keeper's Secret. Far away, where the sea meets the horizon and the world grows quiet, there stands a lighthouse. Its tower rises tall and steady against the endless waves, its light sweeping slowly across the night. For countless years, it has guided sailors home, kept them safe from hidden rocks, and watched over the restless tides. But tonight, The lighthouse waits for you. You walk along a narrow path that winds over the cliffs. The ocean below sighs against the rocks, its rhythm slow, like the steady breathing of the earth itself. The air is filled with salt, and the faint cry of seabirds settling in for the night. Ahead, the lighthouse glows faintly, its lantern casting circles of gold across the dark waters. When you reach the heavy wooden door, it opens without a sound. Inside, the air is warm, filled with the scent of wood smoke and sea. The walls are lined with shelves of books, maps, and curious trinkets gathered from faraway shores. The light flickers gently through the windows, painting the room in amber hues. The keeper is there an old man, though his eyes are bright as the stars outside. His beard is white as sea foam, his hands strong and weathered from years of tending the light. When he sees you, he smiles, as though he has been waiting for you. "Welcome," he says softly, his voice low and calming, like the tide at dusk. "You've come on the right night. The sea has something to tell you." He gestures for you to follow him up the spiral staircase. Each step creaks beneath your feet as you climb, the stone cool beneath your hand on the rail. Higher and higher you go, until at last you emerge into the lantern room. The great lamp burns steadily, its glow warm and constant. Through the glass windows, the ocean stretches endlessly, waves shimmering beneath the moonlight. You stand in silence, watching the water shift and sparkle. The keeper steps beside you, gazing out as though he can see something hidden within the waves. After a long pause, he speaks again. "Most think the lighthouse only serves sailors, but there is more to it. This light, it does not just guard ships, it guards hearts. It watches over those who feel lost, those drifting through storms they cannot name. Tonight, it shines for you." His words settle over you like a blanket, heavy yet comforting. You feel the truth in them. The steady beam of the light seems to reach into your chest, untangling knots of worry, softening thoughts that once felt sharp. The keeper places a hand upon the lantern. "Every traveler has burdens," he says, "but you need not carry yours alone. The sea takes them. The light releases them. Listen." You close your eyes. The sound of the waves rises gently to meet you. Each swell and crash seems to wash through you, pulling away heavy thoughts, leaving only calm behind. The beam of the lighthouse hums faintly, like a heartbeat, steady and sure. You breathe in, slow and deep, and feel yourself lighter than before. When you open your eyes again, the keeper is smiling. He looks older now, as though the years have caught up to him all at once. Yet his face is peaceful, his work done. "My secret," he says, "is that the lighthouse has always belonged to those who need it. Tonight, it is yours. Let it shine for you until the storm inside you has passed." Slowly, his figure fades, dissolving into the glow of the lamp. The room grows quiet, filled only with the steady pulse of light and the rhythm of the ocean below. You realize you are alone, but you do not feel lonely. Instead, you feel cared for, protected, watched over. You sink into a chair by the window, the waves rocking gently in your ears. The light sweeps across the water again and again, its rhythm hypnotic, its glow wrapping you in warmth. As your eyelids grow heavy, you allow yourself to rest. The keeper's words echo softly in your heart. The light shines for you, and with that comfort, you drift into deep, peaceful sleep, carried by the sea, guarded by the eternal glow of the lighthouse. Story 5. The Enchanted Forest Path. At the edge of the world, where the land turns quiet and the stars shine brighter, there lies a forest untouched by time. By day, it appears ordinary trees stretching tall, leaves whispering softly, streams trickling between mossy stones. But at night, under the gaze of the moon, the forest awakens with quiet magic. Tonight, you find yourself at its entrance. The path before you is narrow, covered in soft moss that cushions every step. The trees rise tall and graceful, their branches arching overhead to form a canopy of silver leaves. As the moonlight touches them, they glow faintly, shimmering as though dusted with stars. The air is cool and still, carrying the faint scent of pine, jasmine, and something sweeter like honey drifting through the breeze. With your first step into the forest, the world outside disappears. The path glows faintly beneath your feet, guiding you deeper. Fireflies hover gently on either side, their light steady, like tiny lanterns placed just for you. The forest is not silent. It hums with life, a soft chorus of night creatures, leaves rustling, water trickling somewhere nearby. Yet the sounds soothe you, blending into a rhythm that feels like a lullaby. As you walk, you notice the trees themselves are alive in a way you cannot explain. Their trunks shift with the light, showing shapes, faces perhaps, or memories etched into bark. One tree leans slightly toward you, and as you touch its surface, warmth spreads through your fingertips. A vision rises in your mind, an image of yourself as a child, carefree and laughing. The vision fades, leaving you lighter, as though the tree gifted you a forgotten piece of peace. The path bends, leading you to a small clearing where a stream winds lazily under the moonlight. Its surface reflects the stars above so perfectly that it looks like a river of sky. Kneeling beside it, you dip your hand into the cool water. Instead of ripples, circles of light spread outward, glowing softly before fading into the current. The stream seems to carry away your lingering worries, pulling them far downstream where you no longer need to hold them. You continue walking, guided by the glowing moss. The deeper you go, the softer the world feels. The forest seems to breathe around you, its energy steady and kind. Flowers open as you pass, their petals shining in gentle shades of blue and violet. Some hum faint notes, delicate as wind chimes, blending into the quiet music of the night. Soon you arrive at another clearing, larger than the first. In the center stands a tree unlike the rest. Its trunk is wide and ancient, its branches stretching high above, glowing with thousands of tiny lights. You realize the lights are not leaves, but stars, resting gently upon its branches as though the night sky itself had chosen to nest here. You sit beneath the tree, its roots forming a natural seat. As you lean back, you feel the strength of centuries in its trunk, steady and grounding. A soft breeze stirs, carrying whispers through the branches, not words, but feelings. Calm, safety, rest. The air around you feels alive, holding you gently, rocking you into stillness. Your eyes drift upward. The stars in the branches shift slowly, forming patterns and constellations. They weave gentle stories of rivers, mountains, journeys, and peace. Each one glows brighter for a moment before fading back into the canopy. The rhythm of their dance is slow, hypnotic, steady, like the beat of a heart. As you watch, your own heartbeat matches the rhythm. Your breathing slows, deeper and softer, until it feels as though the forest itself is breathing with you. Every sound, the rustle of leaves, the whisper of the breeze, the hum of the flowers, joins together in a harmony that lulls you deeper into rest. You close your eyes, leaning fully into the tree's embrace. The ground is soft beneath you, the air cool against your skin. You feel safe here, as though the entire forest has gathered to keep watch over your sleep. The enchanted path has led you not just into the woods, but into peace. And as you drift, you know this forest will always be here. Whenever the world feels heavy, the path will return to guide you home to its quiet magic. Tonight, it cradles you gently, carrying you into dreams where you can rest as deeply as the ancient roots themselves.
Story 6. The Time Traveler's Gentle Journey. There are many ways to travel: by road, by sea, by sky. But there is one path few ever walk, the quiet passage of time itself. Tonight, you are given that path, not to rush forward or backward, but to wander gently, peacefully, through moments both remembered and imagined. You begin in a small chamber, circular and warm. At its center stands a clock, tall and elegant, with hands that move neither forward nor back, but in slow, spiraling circles. Its face glows faintly, not with numbers, but with soft constellations of light. Around the chamber are doors, some simple, some ornate, each shimmering faintly as though calling to you. The air hums with stillness, the way a place does when it has waited a long time for someone to arrive. You step closer to the clock, and without a sound, one of the doors opens. Inside, a golden light flickers, and you are drawn toward it. Beyond the threshold, you find yourself standing in a field bathed in sunlight. The grass sways gently, the breeze warm upon your face. In the distance, children laugh, chasing one another through the meadow. Their joy is so pure, so effortless, that you feel it echo within your chest. You realize these are not strangers, but echoes of yourself, moments you once lived, tender and unhurried. You watch quietly, not needing to join, simply grateful that joy once bloomed in you and still lingers here. The field softens, like paint fading on a canvas, and you step back into the chamber. Another door swings open, this one glowing silver. You step inside and find yourself in a small room by candlelight. A version of yourself, older now, sits at a wooden desk, writing a letter with care. Their face is calm, their eyes filled with wisdom earned slowly, gently, across the years. You feel no rush to know what is written. It is enough to see yourself steady, safe, and whole. Again, the scene dissolves, and you return to the chamber. More doors open, one after another, each leading to moments scattered across time. A walk beneath lanterns on a quiet night. A kitchen filled with laughter and the smell of fresh bread. A journey by train through rolling hills. A morning when rain tapped gently on the window, and you stayed wrapped in warmth. Each door offers not noise or haste, but softness, reminders that life carries threads of peace woven quietly throughout. At last, you notice a final door. It glows faintly blue, as though painted with starlight. You step through and find yourself standing not in the past, nor in the future, but in a moment outside of time entirely. Before you stretches a river of light, flowing endlessly, carrying with it fragments of days and nights. You walk to its edge and kneel, dipping your hand into the current. The light is cool, weightless, and as it brushes against your skin, it seems to wash away all restlessness, all worry, leaving only calm. Above, the sky swirls with colors of dawn and dusk mingled together, as though all hours have folded into one eternal twilight. It feels gentle, endless, and kind. A voice, soft as a whisper, rises within you, not from another, but from yourself. There is no rush, it says. Time is not a river that sweeps you away. It is an ocean, carrying you softly. You are not lost within it. You are cradled by it. The words linger as you sit beside the river, your breathing slow, your body growing heavier with rest. The hum of the chamber fades, the doors vanish, the clock dissolves into mist. Only the gentle flow of the river remains, carrying you not forward or backward, but deeper into peace. As your eyelids close, you realize that the journey was never about reaching another time. It was about resting in this one, the quiet hour where you finally let yourself drift. And so you do, sinking gently as the time traveler's path carries you into sleep.
Story 7. The Mountain of Eternal Dawn. Far beyond the valleys where rivers bend like ribbons of silver, there stood a mountain that touched the very edges of the sky. The people of the nearby villages called it the Mountain of Eternal Dawn, for at its peak, the sun never fully set. While the world below passed through day and night, the summit of this mountain remained bathed in a soft golden glow, as if the morning light had chosen it as a permanent home. For generations, travelers spoke of its mystery. Some believed the mountain was blessed, others thought it cursed. But for Aaron, a gentle soul with a restless heart, it was a place of calling. Aaron often dreamt of the mountain, of walking its glowing ridges, hearing whispers carried by the wind, and feeling as though something awaited him at the top. One morning, before dawn had broken in his village, Aaron packed a small bag and began his journey. The path to the mountain was long, winding through meadows heavy with dew, forests that shimmered with the songs of hidden birds, and cliffs where the sea roared against the earth below. Yet Aaron felt no fear, only a quiet pull forward, like the mountain itself was guiding him. As he climbed higher, he noticed the air growing thinner but strangely lighter, filled with a faint fragrance of flowers that didn't seem to exist anywhere else in the world. The colors around him softened, the blues, the greens, the golds merging into a dreamlike haze. Time seemed to blur. Day slipped into night, night into day, but the closer he drew to the summit, the more the world held on to the warm light of dawn. Finally, after many days, Aaron reached the top. There, he found not a barren peak, but a garden unlike any other. The air was filled with warmth, the sky painted in shades of rose and gold, and in the very center of the summit stood a great crystal, glowing with the light of a never-ending sunrise. As Aaron approached, the crystal pulsed gently, and a voice, soft as the morning breeze, spoke. "Welcome, Seeker. You have climbed not to conquer, but to understand. Here, in the light of eternal dawn, one truth remains: every day is a chance to begin again." Tears filled Aaron's eyes. All his life he had sought meaning, waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect day, the perfect time to begin his dreams. But here, the mountain whispered that every moment, no matter how small, held the power of a new beginning. Aaron rested there, wrapped in peace. When he finally descended, he carried with him not the crystal, but its lesson, that the light of eternal dawn was not bound to the mountain, but lived quietly in every heart willing to start anew. And from that day forward, whenever Aaron woke in the stillness of morning, he felt the same golden glow in his chest, a reminder that the mountain of eternal dawn was never far away.
Story 8. The Garden of Forgotten Whispers. Far beyond the reach of ordinary roads, hidden between rolling hills and veiled by layers of mist, there existed a secret place, known only to those who wandered with quiet hearts, the Garden of Forgotten Whispers. This was not just any garden. It was said that every word ever spoken and then forgotten drifted softly into the air and found its way here. The whispers floated like delicate threads, weaving themselves among the flowers, trees, and fountains, until the whole garden hummed with an endless, gentle murmur. Travelers who found this hidden sanctuary often described it as walking into a dream. The air was warm but feather light, carrying with it scents of wild lavender, night-blooming jasmine, and rain-soaked moss. Lantern-like blossoms glowed softly in shades of silver and pale blue, illuminating winding stone paths. At the center of the garden stood an ancient willow tree, its roots like great arms stretched across the earth, its branches draped low, shimmering faintly with golden dust. If one leaned close enough, they could hear faint echoes of voices, laughter of children long grown, words of love spoken centuries ago, prayers whispered in solitude, promises left behind. One evening, a weary woman named Althea stumbled upon the garden. She had been wandering the countryside, burdened by memories she wished she could forget, and silences she could not escape. When she pushed past the veil of mist and stepped into the glowing garden, she felt an almost immediate stillness inside her heart. The whispers curled around her like a lullaby. Some were soft giggles, others were hushed confessions, and a few were fragments of songs she vaguely remembered from her childhood. She followed the voices down the winding path until she reached the willow tree. There, upon a bench carved from smooth stone, she sat down. And as she closed her eyes, the whispers began to thread themselves into her own thoughts. She remembered her grandmother's voice telling her bedtime stories, her father's laughter echoing at dawn, the melody of a song her mother used to hum while cooking. Forgotten fragments of her life that had slipped into silence now came back, gentle and kind. Tears glistened on her cheeks, not of sorrow, but of release. She realized that the garden was not a place to erase memories, but a place where forgotten words found new life. They were not gone. They had simply been resting, waiting for someone to listen again. Althea leaned back beneath the willow's golden branches, and for the first time in many years, she allowed herself to sleep without worry. The whispers rocked her gently into dreams, promising her that nothing precious was ever truly lost. And so, the Garden of Forgotten Whispers continued to cradle countless voices offering peace, healing, and a reminder that even the quietest words linger forever in the fabric of the world. Story 9. The Lighthouse of the Silent Sea. Far beyond the edge of familiar maps, there stretched a vast expanse of water known only as the Silent Sea. Sailors whispered about it with both awe and unease, for unlike any other ocean, it carried no sound. No crash of waves, no call of gulls, not even the whisper of the wind. Only stillness, endless and profound. At the heart of this uncanny sea stood a lonely lighthouse, tall and silver white, rooted on a rocky outcrop. Its beam glowed softly, not harsh or piercing, but like the steady flame of a candle, comforting, eternal. Few had ever set eyes upon it, for the Silent Sea was not a place one stumbled into. It was a place one arrived at when their soul sought answers. One quiet night, a traveler named Alara found herself sailing upon this sea. She had no memory of how she had come to be there, only a deep yearning in her chest that guided her boat forward. The silence was not frightening but heavy, as though the world itself was holding its breath. Drawn by the glow, Alara steered toward the lighthouse. As she approached, she saw that the tower was not made of stone or brick, but of translucent glass that shimmered like frozen starlight. The great door at its base opened for her without a sound. Inside, the walls were lined with shelves holding bottles of light, each glowing faintly in the hush. Some were bright as suns, others dim as dying embers. Alara instinctively reached for one, and as her hand touched the glass, a memory unfolded, not hers, but someone else's. She saw a fisherman staring out at the sea, his heart aching for a family long gone. She felt his sorrow, his love, his hope, and then the vision faded, the bottle glowing softly once more. A voice, gentle and low, rose from the silence. "This is the Lighthouse of the Silent Sea," it said. "Here, every soul that has ever crossed these waters leaves behind a fragment of its story. Light is memory, and memory is what keeps the sea alive." Alara climbed the spiral staircase, each step echoing with visions of others' lives, bottled in light. Some were stories of joy, children laughing, lovers embracing, friends reunited. Others were filled with sorrow, longing, and loss. Yet together they formed a symphony, silent yet deeply felt. At the very top, she reached the beacon itself, a great crystal flame that pulsed softly with the combined light of countless souls. It did not blind her eyes, but instead filled her heart with a profound peace. In that moment, Alara understood. The sea was silent, not because it was empty, but because it was listening. Every soul who entered left their truth behind, and in silence, those truths found harmony. The voice returned, calm as the tide. "Your heart has brought you here, Alara. You too must leave your light." She closed her eyes and breathed deeply. Memories surfaced of laughter shared with friends, of nights spent gazing at the stars, of tears shed in moments of loss, of dreams whispered only to the moon. One by one, they gathered like sparks in her chest until she gently released them, A small bottle appeared before her, glowing softly with her essence. She placed it on the shelf among the others, and as she did, the lighthouse's beam grew brighter. When Alara descended, she found her little boat waiting, the sea calm and endless. As she drifted away, she glanced back. The lighthouse shone more brightly than before, a beacon not just of light, but of every soul that had ever found their way to the silent sea. And though the world around her remained soundless, she carried with her a quiet truth that silence, too, has a voice. A voice that speaks not in words, but in understanding. And so Alara sailed on, her heart lighter than when she had arrived, guided by the eternal flame of the lighthouse of the silent sea. Story 10. The Clockmaker of Starlight Alley Huge. Hidden away in a quiet corner of the old city was a narrow passageway called Starlight Alley. Few ever walked its cobblestones, for the street seemed to shimmer strangely at night, and lanterns there burned with a soft glow that never quite went out. At the very end of this alley stood a peculiar little shop with no sign above the door, only a clock that ticked, not with seconds, but with gentle pulses of starlight. The shop belonged to Elias the Clockmaker, an old man with silver hair and hands that never shook, no matter how delicate the gears he worked with. His clocks were unlike any others in the world. They did not simply measure hours and minutes, they told the time of dreams, memories, and forgotten hopes. Some whispered that if you owned one of Elias's clocks, it could help you find your way back to a moment you had lost, or forward to one yet to come. Each evening, when the city slept, Elias would sit at his workbench, polishing tiny pieces of stardust and moonlight, fitting them into brass frames and glass faces. The shop filled with the soft ticking of hundreds of clocks, each one marking its own secret rhythm. Yet Elias never sold his work. He gave them away freely to those who wandered into the alley with heavy hearts or weary souls. One rainy night, a woman named Isla stumbled into Starlight Alley. She was lost, not in direction, but in spirit. Her days had become a blur, her dreams dimmed by the weight of responsibilities and forgotten joys. Drawn by the glow of the little clock above the door, she entered Elias's shop. The old man greeted her with a smile. "You seem in need of a new kind of time," he said softly. He led her to a clock unlike the others. Its hands moved backward and forward at once, circling gently like waves. The face shimmered faintly, as if a night sky lived within it. "This clock," Elias whispered, "does not measure hours. It measures wonder. Each time it ticks, it reminds you to pause and notice something beautiful. The flight of a bird, the laughter of a stranger, the warmth of sunlight on your hand. Let it guide you, and the world will no longer feel so heavy." Isla took the clock home, and that very night she noticed the soft hum of rain on her window like music she had never heard before. The next day she smiled at the blooming of a single flower by the roadside. Slowly, her heart grew lighter, as if each tick of the clock was repairing something inside her. Back in his shop, Elias returned to his bench. He did not need thanks. He knew that time was not meant only for keeping schedules, but for helping souls remember the magic of living. And so, in the quiet heart of Starlight Alley, the old clockmaker worked on, ticking eternity into moments of wonder. And if you ever find yourself wandering through a city street at night and see a faint glow at the end of a forgotten alleyway, perhaps you too will hear the ticking of starlight and discover that time can be more than just numbers on a clock.
If you enjoyed this magical bedtime journey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another story. Share this with someone who needs a little peace and wonder before sleep.